The name of this movie. It was one of those titles where I looked at it and was like, The Almond and the Seahorse was directed by Tom Stern and Celine Jones. It stars Rebel Wilson and Charlotte Gainsbourg. This movie tells a very complicated and detailed story of a woman who is suffering from a rare kind of amnesia in which she's trying to decipher what is the real world, what's happening, and why so many events keep taking place, which involve her involvement with her husband and a relationship with another woman, which have driven her to the point where it could be the brink of insanity. I don't know how else to explain this movie because I was extremely intrigued to watch this. It is one of those movies that got advertised for in a very unique way in the sense that it got one trailer towards Oscar season when most films get a lot because they're going for bait and it's towards the end of the year. But this film still had a premise that I looked at and was like, that's good. That's a good premise. And it is. The problem lies in the execution. This movie has a great idea, but it doesn't translate that from paper to film as well as it really should. And I think a large part of that is the script is lacking a clear direction and it doesn't quite know what it's trying to go for here. And the directors, I don't know, maybe it was because there were two guys involved, but it feels a little disconnected at times from each other and not necessarily as one singular vehicle, if you know what I mean. Like, it's one movie, but it feels different tonally. I don't know if they took turns directing or if they directed together. It just wasn't consistent throughout. However, the movie's shining point are the performances in here. I think that, the ladies that are in here are giving a fantastic performance. They really do a good job. I think the way time works in this movie is good. Like, there are parts of here where I love the parts where I was trying to think. Like, the movie sets up really well. Like, I'd say the first act, it does a good job of putting you back and forth, where you're guessing. You're trying to figure out what's happening. But it fails to explain a lot of that in a way that's cohesive. And I don't mind a movie that doesn't hold my hand. I like movies that throw you in there and say, figure it out, but it didn't seem like they had answers. It seems like they had questions without them. And that's where it got a little for me. As I said, the performances are really good in here. They give it all. The actors are doing a really fantastic job in here. The actresses are just putting themselves in this role, and they're so good at conveying the emotions, the confusion, and the world, as it just seems like it's like, ooh, like this movie has good to it, but it's not put on the screen as well as it should be, which is a little disappointing because I really wanted this movie to be good, and it's trying to tackle some very heavy issues here. I do think, though, a really good thing was the editor. Whoever edited this movie is fantastic at their job. They did brilliantly with that, and it's one part that also helped this film to be a little better than it could have been. I think this movie is meh. I think it's probably going to end up getting a lot lower reviews because of this, and it's going to make a lot of people feel a lot of ways. As of me recording this, Rotten Tomatoes has this sitting at 9%. I think that is an extremely low rating for this movie. That's a bit of a disservice. However, there's only 11 reviews on there right now. So, while there's a lot in this movie that's, making you question things, and you kind of feel like you're torn between the two worlds, and you want her to do this and things, it just kind of falls through at the end. There's a great effort. Very proud of them for making this movie, and I still respect it a lot. I'm just saying it wasn't as good as it could have been, and I was a bit disappointed with the outcome. But hey, they did their best, and I genuinely respect that effort, but I'm not going to go recommend this movie because it's just something I feel like you should make a decision on your own. Of course, this is just my opinion, but overall, it's okay. That's why I give the movie. It's okay. So, if you want to watch it, go watch it. If you don't, I'm going to give The Almond and the Seahorse a 5 out of 10. So thank you guys as always so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all next time.